So yeah, it was called Far Rockaway, and like even the feel and look of Far Rockaway proper worked with Old School Sundays. Obviously they've revamped it, changed it, but like yeah, that was definitely something I was proud of. Old School Sundays was lit. That used, like I said, that was our biggest money earner at the time.
Okay.
Notorious outgrew faded until it ended. Then Old School Sundays came in and outgrew faded. That was every single Sunday, 52 a week. And we had like I said, 400 or 500 people a week.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's a dedicated support base.
Yeah, it was powerful. And then after that, we just had to like move immediately because we only had a week's notice. So then we moved opposite Hoxton Pony, and then we did it for 2 weeks there. And then we moved somewhere else, and we're just trying to keep it afloat while all this change was happening that was out of our control.
Yeah.
And we kind of got it going again, but it never hit where it was.
Yeah.
Like we had sold out events, but they were like mostly the bank holidays and the birthdays, or we'd do like a special edition or this or that. Yeah. And then eventually we'll just like, we'd rather end it, and this is something I genuinely, I'd rather end at a high than, do you know what I mean, just wither away and people be like, what happened to them? Do you know what I mean? So I was like, you know what?
What Ronaldo's going through, innit?
So I was like, take your pride and just call it quits, man. Yeah. And then I think after that was probably the international stuff. Okay. That's when like Faded and Damn, Fresh Island, and like there was like a year or two, and I think it was around then where those became really lucrative. Like there was a time where we took, like, because remember we had this commission basis thing, but we had this commission basis thing where the festivals thought we'd bring like 30 or 50 people. Man. There was a year where we sold 800 tickets to Fresh Island.
That's crazy.
Do you know what I mean? The commission was, and the thing is, we had agreed the commission in a way that if we hit bands, our rate goes up. Okay. So if we sell like 20 tickets, we get 10%. Okay. But if we sell 50 tickets, we get 20%. If we sell this, we get 25%. So they were like, yo, can we pay you in installments? Or do you know what I mean?
We weren't expecting that much.
Yeah, we did Faded and Damn and brought 600 people. Same thing with Festival. We brought like 400 people to the festival in Amsterdam when they had, I think it was like Ray Shremmerd. I'm trying to remember, they had some sick lineups.
Wait, so just to kind of clarify, when you're doing events internationally, would your target be people in the UK going over, or would your target be people? It was
predominantly people in the UK, but then what we found was people in the UK would just know people that are local, and they would just hear about it. So we'd end up getting some
locals as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, like with Fresh Island, what I realize is, I love these guys, they're my guys. Yeah. But I feel like we knew how to market better than they did. Yeah. So our marketing became so strong that people just started booking through us. Okay. Because we were just more visible with our marketing. Like we would create our own promo video. Yeah. And then even like our domain, they were like, oh, we'll give you this link and you send people the link. And I was like, dead that, bro. Yeah. I'm going to buy fadedgoesfreshisland.com.
Okay.
Yeah. And then essentially that is the promo link. So anyone that goes through Faded Fresh Island. Yeah. Oh no, not even. We actually, I think we did that for like 1 year, and then we agreed a deal that anyone buys through Shubs is us. Okay. So because they never sold through Shubs. Okay. So we solely sold through Shubs. Yeah. We had a partnership with them. So then we paid for ads on Shubs to promote the festival. And this is the time where they were having like French Montana. Sick. They had Migos, they had Kehlani, they had Jay Huss, they had Burner at one point. So these were good lineups. It was easy to sell. Yeah. They had Tory. It was strong. Migos.
And is Fresh Island,
Chris Brown.
Are they still going at the moment? Or?
I don't know. They did last year. I was in Croatia this year. Yeah. They haven't announced anything for next year. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. But they've just had like, I can actually say, like, in business, there's good luck and there's bad luck, and there's everything else in between. Like, obviously, Jamal used to have a really good saying, actually. It was, I worked really hard to be this lucky.
Yeah, 100.
So a lot of the time it's like, you do this, you do that, and sometimes it has a knock-on effect and opportunities come from it. Yeah. And sometimes it is just good luck and it is just bad luck.
But it's kind of what we were saying before, how like you're only clocking now like the whole time, even from like back to the sweet selling, innit? You're building skills and like different like foundations for like art. Like, so when you're doing an event now, you know how to sell, you know how to market, you know how to promote. So it's like
That's why I say I'm 13 years in.
Yeah,
like Faded is 11 years, but I've been doing events before.
Yeah.
I've had failed and successful events before Faded. I'm 13 coming to 14 years in.
Okay,
So you do anything for that long, and you got to bear in mind, for the last 5-6 years, I've had an event every single weekend.
Mad.
So you're talking about, like, I'd probably do 100, 150 events a year over that period.
Okay.
So
would you say, like, because obviously we chatted last year about like the license stuff with Junction House, would you say, did that affect you guys, or were you guys just able to like keep things going? Like,
so is the biggest lesson, and I think like it was the hardest I've ever been hit in terms of, I think like what was mad for me was Junction happened at the same time as a bunch of other things. Like, I don't want to get into it too much, but like literally the same month we lost Junction House, my car got stolen.
Mad,
and then as soon as I got it back, I lost my license.
Yeah,
and then my aunt got diagnosed with a fatal illness. She literally passed away like 2 months ago.
Oh, mad,
but like,
my condolences.
There was a whole bunch of stuff that just happened to me within a 6-week period. So like that was just a really hard time for me in general. Yeah. But it was all, Junction itself was an amazing lesson. Yeah. So I never got into that, but I ended up becoming the bookings manager for Junction House for about, I think I did it for about 2, 3, maybe even 4 years before we took it on. Okay. So the trust and the relationship with the owners was just there. Yeah. Like I'd gotten all the events that were in there, all came in through me. Yeah. So all the other promoters that were working in Junction, that's part of why I don't really bicker. I don't have enemies within promoters. I don't see them as competition. Yeah. And I don't mean that in a arrogant way. Yeah. I mean it in a sense that there's enough for everyone to eat. Bro, like it's New Year's Eve coming up. Yeah. Everyone's gonna have a sold out event. Yeah. Like on a bank holiday, Recess can be sold out, DOT can be sold out, Faded can be sold out, like Panache, Playhouse, Hangout. Every single person can have a party, be sold out. London ain't that small. Like London's massive. You got 7.5 million people that just live here.
Looking for a motive.
You're looking for 500. You got millions of people that live here. You're looking for 500. There's enough for everyone to eat. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you're trying to. Even the same as restaurants. Like everyone can eat, bro. It's your thing. Doesn't have to have someone else's thing be negatively impacted to be successful. Yeah, no, it's like clothing. You can wear Nike today and Prada tomorrow. Or Valentino the next day, or Balenciaga, whatever. You can buy it from all of these brands, and they can all eat, and you can still enjoy different experiences. 100. So that's what I mean when I say I don't see it as competition, especially working as a venue. I was like, I want to work with promoters. I want to have a good relationship with them, so that if I take over another venue, or like when we took over Junction, it wasn't just Faded. I needed people to do the Fridays or the Sundays or whatever. So you want to have a good relationship. You want to have a bigger picture in your head. But essentially, when COVID happened, we proposed to the venue, because you couldn't do parties, but you could do like, they could open us a bar. Okay. Or sit down or whatever. Oh yeah. But they had built their business that they only relied on promoters. They never opened us a bar. They only opened for an event. Okay. And that was it. Before the event happened, no one ever came in. Yeah. But they were structured in a way that they could. It was more of a bar than a club. Yeah. But it's just the way they'd run their business. So I said to them, why don't you like get some furniture, try and get people in, and have like more chilled vibe stuff. You can still have the same kind of music. And we sorry, we proposed to take it over, like hire it from them and test out that concept. Okay. We couldn't do anything ourselves really. Yeah. And just before we kind of got it across the line, they imposed a 10 p.m. curfew. Mad. And that was kind of like, let's allow that
just
idea.
Dead it, basically.
That idea is dead. And we kind of forgot about it. But then when everything reopened, or came back to reopening, the owners were like, Matthew, we want to talk to you. And I was like, what's this? What's going on? Like, is this bad news? Whatever. I was like, oh, they're probably saying they can't afford to keep me on. Or whatever. You know what I mean? When I finally took the call, they were like, oh, we've got some family issue, because they ran 3 different venues. Okay. Like it was 2 brothers and his wife, and one of their wives, if that kind of makes sense. So like a couple and a brother. Okay.
And was it like a chain basically?
No, not a chain. There were 3 completely different venues.
Oh, different venues.
Yeah,
okay,
there were 2 pubs and Junction.
Okay, I see.
And the thing is, the pubs were raking the money, because pubs were allowed to open.
Yeah, yeah.
So the pubs were doing well, and then the pubs were active in COVID and making more money than usual, because it's the only place people could go. Yeah. So they were kind of like, oh, we've got some family stuff. Basically, had 2 members of the family that were ill, so they're like, we can't really be around to run Junction. Yeah. You already know how everything works. You know all the security. You know all the bar staff. You know you know everything.
Yeah.
Would you be similar to what we were talking about before? Would you be interested in taking it over and running the venue, and you just basically pay us, rent the venue from us with a little bit on top, and you guys keep everything else kind of thing. And then me and Taze were like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, might as well try, innit? Like,
me, man.
I was like, might as well try. So we'll try and do the numbers. We spoke to one of our guys that owned the venue. He was like, bro, let me have that deal. he was like, don't even blink, just take it.
Yeah.
So we're like, all right, cool. Apparently this is what we're doing now.
Yeah.
So then that happened literally, I think it was the day before, the day after my birthday, so like the 10th of June.
Okay.
And then
Gemini as well, man.
Yeah. So then the 19th of July was the day that we were allowed to reopen. Okay. So we had a month and a week. So that's when we were just like, let's refurbish.
Yeah.
So we repainted the whole venue, put in like a flower walls, neon lights, changed the mirrors, changed the decor, bought all new seating, new tables, this, that, whatever. So that worst case scenario, we could seat like 60 people. Yeah. Because the venue, the furniture they did have was all like old school bar, tattered. It wasn't even matching. And I think they could seat like 20 people at tops. So we bought all these stools, these really nice stools, and these tables, and so that we could do like more like shisha cocktail vibe upstairs, but then we could still open the club downstairs and kind of throw parties, because even when they had parties, no one really came upstairs. They just came upstairs because the bar was quieter. And then we did a couple tester parties, like we actually did the Euros. So screenings of the Euros. Just to test out, 2021, just to give the staff an opportunity to test. And we had to hire all new staff, all new bar staff, and teach them how to make drinks. And bro, I learned so much stuff, like putting in security systems and CCTV, and learning this and fixing air conditioner units and making a cocktail menu and knowing how to price things and running a till system and the PDQs, and so it's an endless list, man.
You're basically like managing the whole thing, basically.
Everything, taking out insurance and this insurance and that insurance, and reading this and that, and attending meetings. And there's even meetings like where you have to, like, for instance, do you know about Ask for Angela?
No.
It's like a code word for if a woman's being harassed in a club.
Okay.
So you need to teach all your staff that. They need to know that if someone comes to the bar and says, is Angela here? They're not asking if Angela's here. They're saying, help me. So it's like, you have to attend those courses, and you have to teach your staff those courses. Then you have to create exams for your staff to make sure that they understand all these things. And it was a lot, but it was sick. Like, I love that kind of stuff. I live for that, because it's like I said, I'm a hustler. I always want to learn how to do it myself.
And you were probably challenging yourself as well.
100%. But then you got to bear in mind, like I said, we had 5 weeks.
Flipping
5 weeks to turn this around. 5 weeks. And even the refurbishing, like we didn't realise Junction House never had a stockroom. I was like, how did you not manage without a stockroom? So we had to build a stockroom in the venue. I literally had to hire a carpenter. And he did like a bit of a shoddy job, to be honest. But I did that. I had to like build contracts with ice companies. Oh my God. The first weeks of Junction House, all me and Taser were doing was running to shops trying to buy ice. We're just running out of ice. We're like, hey, we'll get 8 bags of ice. We needed 16. So I'm running to every shop that sells ice, buying ice and this and that, and non-stop, and limes or lemons and this and that. And you've got certain cocktails on the menu that you need maraschino cherries for. Do you know what I mean? But like, where'd you buy maraschino cherries, bro? Do you know what I mean? On Dalston High Street. So it was sick. And then even cutting deals with alcohol brands, like that's an amazing part of it. Like, I didn't realize that, because there's a lot of money you can get from, basically alcohol brands will pay you to sell their alcohol in your venue. Okay, I see. So or give you benefits or perks and stuff like that, which is great, because it opened up revenue streams that we didn't know we had. So then we had deals with like Campari, which is Ray Nephew, or like LVMH, Hennessy, and Bacardi, and like all these different brands. But then you have to adjust all your cocktails now, because you have to make sure that you're using a Bacardi product. Or you know what I mean? So and it was like, for us, we wanted to sell certain drinks, so we had to be selective with who we worked with, because it was like, also, I don't understand why venues don't do this, but I was like, we need to sell Magnums. Like, why don't you sell Magnums? That's urban crowd. Like, why can't you go out and buy a Magnum in a club?
The most popular drink. For
but why don't clubs sell them? So I was like, let's put Magnums on the menu. Let's make a Magnum Martini. You know what I mean? Or like Ray. You can't have a urban club brand and not sell Ray. I mean, we have whatever this alcohol I've never heard of before. I mean, I went somewhere and they were like, "Oh, can I have Hennessy?" And they were like, "We have." I don't even know, but it weren't E and J and it weren't Cavassier. I don't know what it was, but I was like, "What? How you not have Hennessy or Cavassier? Like you gotta have one of them." But like all these different things, and
that's black man juice right there.
That's what I mean.
You need that.
And then I remember we bought a slush puppy machine.
Okay,
that
sick.
went off.
Yeah, and I remember my cousin had it out.
You got to bear in mind, it was in summer. This was July.
Okay.
So July, everyone's hot. It's Ram, slush puppy cocktails.
Oh yeah.
Slush and Ray.
Yeah.